Hi, and thanks for joining. It's Patty from PS Paper Crafts, and I want to show you how to make another card. I'm using another Sale-A-Bration item. I think this might be my last one. I'm not sure. Sale-A-Bration ends February 28th, so it's only a couple of days left. And this is one of the stamp sets you can earn if you buy $100 in product. You can get this for free. And it's really beautiful. It has the hummingbird and the butterfly, and then it has kind of like the fill-in. I call it the filler stamps. So there's the images. I have a lot of them already mounted. There's the images, and then you can stamp the background. But of course, I'm not doing that. I wanted to color them in. They're beautiful. They're actually beautiful just in black, just stamped very simply. I saw someone do a card like that, and I thought it was just gorgeous. I'm also going to emboss the background layer using the 3D Parisian Flourish folder on vellum, and I just thought that was pretty with this border. So I'm using, I've got a lot of different things going on here. This is the Ornate Layers dies, and I cut it out ahead of time because I have to admit there was a lot of punching out to do. So I have my pieces, and this time I'm doing it in Gorgeous Grape. But I just want to give you a hint. When you're using something like this, very intricate with a lot of pieces, I have an old paper pumpkin box. You can use anything, but this is the key, this brush. So this is the take your pick tool, and this just unscrews. It's a separate piece, so you would get this and the foam, and this is normally the piece that I have in here, that putty. So you just switch it out when you need it, or get two of them, whatever you want to do. And it just, and then you would have your, it's better to take it, to do this before you take your paper out. So when you take it off your cutting machine, you would just lay it in this and just roll over while it's in the die, and it'll cut out a lot of the pieces. And you can do it very lightly. You don't want to do it hard. And then you have this to poke out something that doesn't get poked out. So I did this ahead of time because for this, it did take me a little bit, I will admit it. A lot of them, they just fall right out, but that one did take me a little longer. So we have our pieces. Let's do our embossing of the vellum first, and then we'll do our stamping. So I'll take the piece of vellum, and there's a line on here to help you line it up, but I'm trying to think. I'm doing it this way. So you don't want to go all the way up to here. So mine is a little bit lower, but otherwise it gets funny on the end. So you can move it below the line as well. And I want to try to center it as much as I can. So this is kind of in the center. Not that it matters because we're covering a lot of it up. So let's just put it like this. Let me get my cut and emboss machine. And for this, it's a 3D folder. So we want to take this piece off, and you'll see that the 3D folders, you want a number 1 and a number 4. And we're going to feed it in with the fold here. So that's the number 1, and then we have the number 4 plate. So we'll just put this right on top. And I love vellum when it's embossed. It's really pretty. And I thought it was a nice background layer, and there's plenty of coverage here for my adhesive, because adhesive on vellum is not always easy. You kind of have to hide the adhesive. So we'll take this out. Not so pretty. Let's put it up against here. I think it's really beautiful. It gives you some little white edging. So let's put this aside, and that's my inside layer. So let's do our stamping. So this time I'm going to do the butterfly, not the hummingbird. And you can do whatever one you want. And I'll stamp it in the black Memento ink. And then I'm coloring with the watercolor. And you can stamp it really and stays on. I think that's probably the best thing to do, but this worked. So sometimes you have to break the rules. So let's get our little piece here. And I just measured this so that it would fit with a little bit of border around it. So you can find the measurements. I forget what it is, but if you go to my blog, Patty at pspapercraft.com, you can get all the measurements for everything. Okay, so we'll just, and I don't know how this is going to come out, so this butterfly is actually going a different way. So let's see. I didn't try this out. Usually I try it out first. So let's get some of the flowers. So on this one, I think I'll put the flowers all around. So he's just going into a garden. Okay, landing on a group of flowers. And then what I did was I took my watercolor pencils and I colored. And on this one, and I'll do the same with the flowers, I did Flirty Flamingo, but I did very light. I wanted just a very, very light. I did kind of the inside dark. And then I just really wanted a light, light color. So I'm just doing the inside dark, and then I'm just going to very lightly, and don't worry if you don't get it in all the places. This is just, we're going to blend it with the blender pens. And I love doing that. And it'll take these lines away. You can color them with stamping blends as well. My sun is getting dark or going down. I don't know. It's a little early for that, so I'm hoping it's not too dark for you. Maybe it's behind a cloud. All of a sudden it feels like it's getting dark. So I'm just going to really roughly color this in. And the blender pens are kind of like magic. They make it look all pretty. And if you want it darker, you just color it darker. Now I'll get my blender pen. And I want to make sure, it looks dirty, but I want to make sure that it's not. So I just rub it on some scrap paper. And I hope you can see this, but it's really just blending the color. I should probably try to stay away from the lines. So the black Memento is really meant for alcohol markers, not for the watercolor. But it seems to be okay. And again, you can make this dark and vibrant if you wanted. I just wanted to have a very kind of light, soft look. And then we'll do the butterfly a little bit darker. So we just color it all in. Very simple. So let's just do that. So I hope you can see that. Okay, now we're going to pick some colors. Now I'm using the Gorgeous Grape because I thought I would use the Gorgeous Grape pencil on the butterfly. And I'm going to do a little bit kind of dark on these. And then I may do some Granny Apple Green. I like those two colors together. So I'll just do different colors and then I'll blend them. Let's see how that is. So we'll take our blender pen and just color. Okay, sorry, I stopped it for a second. Someone's walking a dog. And I could hear the dog barking, and it's getting my dog to bark. Okay, so we have the purple. Let's do the Granny Apple Green. And I'm wondering if I should do any other colors. So I'm going to do this a little bit lighter. And on this one, I actually, and I may do it here too, I kind of mixed the Granny Apple Green and Coastal Cabana. So let's see how that works. So I just colored it this way, and then I added some Coastal Cabana. And I didn't do it on purpose. It was a good mistake because I was going to do 2 different colors, and then I decided I wanted them the same color. So I'm just going to add on top just a little bit of this. And then when I use the blender pen, it will kind of blend them together. So here we go. And it just kind of gives it a different look. Let's get that out of the way. I think it's a pretty color. Okay. And I'm just going to wipe that off. And I think I want to do the body in this Cajun Craze. And then I think I want to do the tips in something. I'm trying to stick with the same. We sell 2 sets of these markers, or watercolor pencils. And there's crushed curry. I wanted a brighter yellow, but I want to stick with the 1 set. So we'll stick with whatever colors there are. And maybe on this one, I'll just do the Granny Apple Green dark. And just play with it. Pick whatever you like. And do dark. You know, start out light, and then if you don't like it, do a little darker. So we'll just blend that in. Okay. So there you have it. And we'll put this all aside. So we have our kind of our focal piece here. And what I did to put this together, take this aside here, was I put these 2 pieces together first so I could figure out where I wanted to hide the adhesive before I put it down there. So let me get my stamp and seal. I'm going to put a lot down because of the all like the bumps in the embossed piece. I want to make sure it sticks really good. And then I want to just get this right centered. Okay, and now I have my place to hide my adhesive on this piece. Again, I'm putting lots of adhesive down, so I better put it down in the right place. Otherwise, I'll have a hard time picking it up. I hope I didn't just jinx myself. So there we go. Pretty, right? And then this we'll put up with some dimensionals. And you can add some pearls or rhinestones, but I don't know. I feel like there's enough going on with the vellum, the embossed layer, this fancy piece. But you do what you like. You can also use Wink of Stella instead of the blender pen and get a little bit, I should have tried that, get a little bit of a shimmer when you did your coloring. That would be pretty as well. But I'm going to stick with the way it is right now. And we'll just get that right here in the center. So on this card, I did use the Hello Friend, and I just put that right down there. I think for this one, I'm going to go to another stamp set. And where do I have it? It's called Itty Bitty Birthdays. And I'll just do the birthday wishes. And I have a little strip. This is, you know, kind of my leftover strips when I cut down cardstock. I always have a 1/2 inch. That's what this is. And these, a lot of them fit in it. I wouldn't say all of them do. And we'll just do it in black. try to get it straight. I've got a ton of these, so if I don't get it straight, I can do it again. Okay, that looks good. And you can banner the ends if you want. I'm leaving it just as it is. And I have this little trimmer. You could use whatever trimmer you have. And we'll just cut it down. I think I'll cut down this end as well. I wanted something pretty small for a sentiment because I didn't want to take away from the rest of the card. And it's kind of funny, you feel like you always have to have a sentiment on your card, and you don't. So we'll put this right here, and let me get some dimensionals for this. So I want to make sure that the flat sides are at the top and bottom. See, there's pointy sides, it might go over, so I like to put the flat sides. I really feel like the sun is going down, but it's too early. Having a hard time with my dog here. He keeps barking away, so somebody must be outside. So I keep turning the video off and on. Good thing I'm not doing a Facebook Live. Okay, so we'll just put this right down in this corner. And let's do the inside. So on the inside of this one, I just did the leaves, and I did them in the black, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to do the leaves or I could do the flowers again. And let's see, I think I'll do the flowers again and do a quick coloring. Let me see. So let me get my, whoops, oh my goodness. I'm really losing it. I don't know if I'm on camera, if you even saw that. Hopefully you didn't. And we'll just put some down here. And I should put a sentiment. I'll do it, let's celebrate you. I don't even have it mounted, so let's try that. Let's celebrate you. Here it is. Okay. Let's get that going. And for some reason with the memento, I like to stamp it this way because I like to put the stamp pad on the stamp itself, because I feel like there's a gap here. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't pick up good if I stamp it this way. So let's try to do this. Phew. Okay. And let's do some of the flowers up top. I always like to do the top and bottom corner when I do things. Let's put the top on that. And then we'll do the same thing, and I'll speed it up. So this is a little high, but I like to put the name and then write a little note in it. So I'm just going to, I wonder if those are leaves. I didn't even think about that. I could put some granny apple green. Oh, I want to just keep doing this. I think I'm a little darker on those. So let me get the granny apple green and do these leaves. I don't know if it's a leaf or a flower. Sometimes it's hard to tell. And then let's just make sure that's nice and clean. And we'll do the light color first, just to be sure we don't have any problems. Okay, we'll do the green now. And I think I am getting a little black on this, but I don't think you can really see it, so I'm okay with it. because you're not supposed to use the black memento ink. So let's do the inside. Just put it down. And then the card is done. I like the granny apple green and the gorgeous grape color. That's one of my favorite combinations. Okay, so these are the two cards, and I think they're both beautiful. I love having that embossed vellum layer in the background. Thanks for joining, and come back for my next video. Have a good day. Bye.